Clara was a small, dusty hatchback. She had no home and no family. She slept in the quiet, forgotten alleyways of the big, bustling city of Motorville. Her paint was a faded blue, like a patch of sky on a cloudy day. She had a little dent on her fender, shaped just like a friendly smile. Every morning, the sun would peek over the tall buildings and wake her up. Clara would blink her sleepy headlights and look out at the busy streets. She saw shiny sports cars zipping past and big, important trucks rumbling by. They all had places to go and things to do. Clara dreamed of having a purpose too. Even though she was small and a little bit rusty, Clara had a very big heart full of hope. She would watch the other cars and wish she could join them. "Hello," she would toot softly with her little horn, but the grand sedans and speedy coupes never seemed to notice her. They were too busy, too shiny, and too important. They would splash muddy water on her as they raced through puddles, not even knowing she was there. Clara felt lonely, but she never let her engine grow cold with sadness. She believed that one day she would find her place in the world. She just had to keep believing in herself. To keep her spirits up, Clara would find creative ways to be part of the city's rhythm. She would follow the big street-sweeping trucks in the morning, letting their giant brushes tickle her tires and clean away the night's dust. She would park near the city park and listen to the happy sounds of little remote-controlled cars playing. Sometimes she would find a dropped ice cream cone and gently nudge it to a safe spot, so no one would slip. She didn't have a job, but she tried to be helpful in her own small way. These little acts of kindness made her feel like she belonged, even if just for a moment. Every night, before she closed her headlights to sleep, Clara would look up at the moon, a big, bright headlamp in the sky. She would whisper her dream to the stars. "I want to be a useful car," she would say. "I want to help others and have a family to love. I know I can do it. I just need a chance." Her little engine would hum a hopeful tune as she drifted off to sleep, dreaming of a day when her wheels would have a path to follow and her heart would have a home to cherish. She knew her journey was just beginning and she was ready for whatever came next. One chilly morning, Clara's engine wouldn't start. It coughed and sputtered, but it would not roar to life. She felt a little scared and very alone. Just then, a big, kind-looking tow truck rumbled slowly down the alley. He was old, with wise, gentle headlights and a strong, sturdy hook. His name was Gus, and he had seen many cars come and go in Motorville. He saw Clara shivering and stopped beside her. "What's the trouble, little one?" he asked in a low, rumbling voice that was as warm as a heated garage. Clara explained that she was stuck and couldn't get her engine to turn over. Gus didn't just tow her away. He opened his toolbox and took a look under her hood. With a gentle nudge here and a careful tighten there, he soon had her engine humming sweetly again. Clara was so grateful. Thank you," she chirped. Gus smiled. "It's no trouble at all," he said. "A car with a spirit as bright as yours deserves to be on the road." He saw the hope in her headlights and the determination in her small frame. He decided to help her more. He told her stories about the city and about how every vehicle, no matter how small, has an important part to play in keeping Motorville moving. Gus became Clara's mentor. He met with her every day, teaching her the rules of the road and the secrets of the city. He taught her how to navigate the busiest intersections without being afraid. He showed her the quiet side streets that were shortcuts to anywhere she wanted to go. He helped her practice her parking until she could fit into the tightest of spaces. Most importantly, he listened to her dreams. "You have a good heart, Clara," Gus told her one afternoon. "You want to help people. I think I know the perfect job for you. Are you ready to work hard?" Clara's headlights shone brighter than ever before. "Oh yes," she exclaimed. "I am ready." Gus knew the owner of a little delivery service called Swiftly Delivered. The owner needed a small, reliable car to deliver packages, flowers, and warm meals all over the city. Gus introduced Clara, telling the owner about her kind heart and her determined spirit. The owner gave Clara a chance. Her very first job was to deliver a bouquet of bright, happy sunflowers to a hospital. Clara was so excited, her engine purred with joy. She finally had a purpose. Clara loved her new job. She was Clara the delivery car. She woke up early every morning, excited to see what she would be delivering that day. Sometimes it was a box of delicious cupcakes that made her smell like sugar and vanilla. Other times it was a stack of important letters or a special birthday gift wrapped in shiny paper. She learned every street and every corner of Motorville. She was careful and quick, always making sure her deliveries arrived safely and on time. People started to recognize the little blue hatchback with the friendly, smile-shaped dent on her fender. They would wave to her as she drove by. With every delivery, Clara earned a little bit of money. It wasn't much at first, but she was very careful with it. She saved every coin she could. Her first big purchase was a set of brand new tires. They were strong and grippy, and they made her feel safe and steady on the roads, even when it rained. Next, she saved up for a new coat of paint. She chose a bright, cheerful sky blue that shimmered in the sun. She looked so proud and new. People would say, "Here comes Clara, the sunniest car in the city," and it made her heart zoom with happiness. Clara worked hard from early in the morning until late in the evening. She took on extra deliveries whenever she could. She delivered hot soup to an elderly car who couldn't go out in the cold. She delivered a lost teddy bear back to a crying child's tricycle. She became known for her kindness and her reliability. She wasn't just delivering packages, she was delivering happiness all over Motorville. She used her earnings to fix her little smile dent, but she asked the mechanic to leave just a tiny hint of it there, to remember where she came from. Slowly but surely, Clara built a better life for herself. She was no longer the lonely, homeless car sleeping in an alley. She now rented a small, cozy spot in a safe, warm parking garage. She had a roof over her head and friends to say good morning to. She was still a small hatchback, but she was strong, confident, and full of purpose. She had proved to herself and to everyone in Motorville that even the smallest car can make a very big difference if they have a heart full of courage and a will to work hard. One rainy evening, while making her last delivery, Clara heard a tiny whimpering sound. It came from a dark, wet cardboard box left by the side of the road. She cautiously nudged the box with her bumper, and it tipped over. Out rolled two little toy cars. They were shivering and looked very scared. One was a little red race car with a wobbly wheel, and the other was a tiny yellow dump truck with a sad look on its face. They were lost and all alone. Clara's heart, which was so full of kindness, went out to them immediately. She knew what it felt like to be alone and afraid. Without a second thought, Clara decided to take them home. She gently nudged them up a small ramp she carried for deliveries, and secured them safely in her back seat. "Don't you worry," she cooed softly, turning on her heater to warm them up. "My name is Clara, and you're safe with me now." The little toy cars stopped shivering and looked up at her with their tiny plastic eyes. That night, in her cozy spot in the parking garage, she cleaned their wheels and told them a bedtime story about a brave little car who dreamed of helping others. For the first time in a long time, the little toy cars felt safe and loved. Clara named them Rusty and Dusty. She worked even harder at her delivery job so she could take care of them. She bought them the best toy car oil to keep their axles from squeaking. She found a special mechanic who fixed Rusty's wobbly wheel and polished Dusty's yellow paint until it shone like a buttercup. She taught them everything Gus had taught her: how to be kind, how to be brave, and how to look out for one another. She would take them on her deliveries, letting them see the big, wonderful city from the safety of her back seat. She was no longer just Clara the delivery car. She was now a mother. Her little rented parking space didn't feel empty anymore. It felt like a real home, filled with the happy sounds of tiny wheels rolling and miniature horns beeping. She would tuck them in at night under a soft polishing cloth and sing them a gentle humming lullaby with her engine. Clara had always dreamed of having a family, and now her dream had come true in the most unexpected way. She had a family to love and protect, and it made her the happiest car in all of Motorville. As the years rolled by, Rusty and Dusty grew up under Clara's loving care. They were not toy cars forever. With Clara's guidance and encouragement, they grew into smart and capable young vehicles. Rusty, inspired by Clara's speedy deliveries, became a swift and respected courier bike. He could weave through traffic with amazing skill, delivering urgent messages and small parcels faster than anyone else in Motorville. He always remembered Clara's lessons about being careful and courteous, and he was known for his friendly wave and his bright red paint, just like his first toy body. Dusty, who had always loved building and fixing things, grew into a strong and reliable construction truck. He remembered how Clara had fixed him up when he was just a little toy, and he wanted to do the same for others. He worked on building new roads and repairing old bridges, making Motorville a better and safer place for everyone. He was gentle and steady, just like Clara had taught him to be, and all the other construction vehicles respected his hard work and his kind spirit. He never forgot the little yellow dump truck he once was, and he was always ready to help the smallest vehicles on the site. Clara could not have been prouder. She watched her children succeed, and her heart swelled with love and joy. They had grown into wonderful vehicles, each finding their own purpose and making their own positive mark on the city. Even though they were grown up and had their own garages, they never forgot their mother. Every Sunday, they would all meet at Clara's garage spot for a family oil change and to share stories from their week. They would bring her gifts of premium fuel and the finest polishing wax. They loved listening to her stories about her early days. Rusty and Dusty always remembered the lessons their mother taught them. They knew about her struggles as a lonely hatchback and how she never gave up. They knew how she had found them, two lost little toys in a cardboard box, and given them a home and a future. "You are the bravest car we know, Mom," Rusty would say. "You taught us that it doesn't matter how you start. It's the kindness in your engine that counts," Dusty would add. Clara's courage was the foundation upon which they built their own successful lives, and they made sure she knew it every single day. Many more years passed. Clara was now a grandmother. Her blue paint was a little bit faded again, and her engine hummed a little more softly, but her headlights shone with a gentle, loving wisdom. Rusty and Dusty had families of their own, and the garage on Sundays was now filled with the cheerful beeps and whirs of little grand cars. They would gather around their Grandma Clara, their little motors idling with excitement as she told them her story. She told them about being a lonely car in a big city and about her dream of finding a purpose. She told them about the kind tow truck Gus who gave her a chance. She told them about her days as a delivery car, bringing smiles all over Motorville. And her favorite part to tell was the story of how she found two little lost toy cars in a cardboard box and how they became her wonderful children. The little grand cars would listen, their eyes wide. They looked at their successful father, Rusty, and their strong uncle, Dusty, and they understood. Their grandmother's story was not just a story, it was the story of their family. Clara's legacy was all around her. It was in the kindness of her children and the bright, hopeful headlights of her grandchildren. Her home was no longer just a single parking space. It was the entire loving family that surrounded her. She had started with nothing but a dream in a lonely alley, and now she was the respected matriarch of a large, happy family. She had shown everyone that with courage and a kind heart, anything was possible. She was a living legend in Motorville, a symbol of hope for any little car who felt lost or overlooked. As the sun set, casting a warm, golden glow over the happy family, Clara would look at her grandchildren and share her most important message. "Never be afraid to dream," she would hum softly. "No matter how small you are or where you come from, your heart holds the power to make a big difference. Be kind, work hard, and never, ever give up." Her story, a heartwarming journey of courage and love, would be passed down from generation to generation, a timeless reminder that even the humblest of beginnings can lead to the most beautiful destinations.